threat is imminent, and I have to protect the one thing that I can't live without.
With the exterminators destroyed and the vanished saved,
My journey had reached its end.
in fact, after the war in New York, I realized that this day will come sooner or later. I just didn't think this day would come so soon, as a result of my failed duel with the exterminator on Titan, which ultimately led to the exterminator using the Infinity Gauntlet to wipe out half of all life in the universe.
Start? I don't feel so good.
You're all right.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
Watching the child just disappear in front of my eyes, I blamed it all on me. And then I was stuck in space because the ship ran out of fuel. The oxygen will only last until tomorrow morning. Just as I'm waiting for death to come, a dazzling light appeared before me. And so, with the help of Captain Marvel, we made it back to Earth.
Couldn't stop. Neither could I.
When I got back to the base and looked at the list of those who had disappeared, I felt a deep sense of remorse.
I saw this coming a few years back. I had a vision I didn't believe in. I was dreaming. I'm gonna need you to focus. And I needed you.
I used to believe that Team America was the backbone of the team, that we would face failure together.
We lost. You weren't there.
I removed the chest container of nano-battle armor and handed it to Team America, decided to stay out of any Avengers business. And after a few years, Piper and I finally had our own child. Just as I was getting ready to head back with Morgan, I saw an old acquaintance I hadn't seen in years. Scott told me he wanted to time travel back through Quantum to stop the exterminator.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Scott.
This seems like a pipe dream to me because the quantum principle is fraught with so many uncertainties.
This is a second chance. I got my second chance right here, okay? Can't roll the dice.
Although I declined the captain's invitation, by the end of the night I was looking at a picture of me and a kid together.
Yeah, mild inspiration to see if it checks out. So, one last sim before we pack it in for the night. This time in the shape of a Mobius strip, inverted, please.
Processing.
And don't worry if it doesn't pan out, I'm just kind of...
Model render.
I don't know if I should be happy or worried when I see the moment of success. Happy because there's still room to salvage all this. Worried because if I fail, I might even lose the life I have now.
Love you tons.
I love you, big baby.
I found Piper and told her about the feasibility of time travel.
We got really lucky.
I know.
A lot of people didn't.
No, I can't help everybody.
Sort of seems like you can.
Not if I stop.
Tony, trying to get you to stop has been one of the few failures of my entire life.
In the end, I chose the latter, to make up for the shadow I had buried in my heart for so many years.
Regardless, fixed it. Fully functioning time-space GPS.
I put aside my preconceived notions about the captain and faced this final showdown together. We split into 3 teams and traveled back to each team's timeline,
See you in a minute.
using time travel to retrieve the time gem.
Alright, we all have our assignments. 2 stones uptown, 1 stone down. Stay low, keep an eye on the clock.
But just as I managed to get the cube and was about to leave, something happened. The Tesseract fell into Loki's hands.
Cap. Sorry, buddy, we got a problem.
Because there was only one chance left to go back for the pimple particles. Just when we were at a loss, a place came to me.
There's another way to retake the Tesseract and acquire new particles. Go stroll down memory lane. Military installation, Gordon's.
Looks like we're improvising.
Great.
What are we improvising? Scott, get this back to the compound. Shoot up.
Look, if you do this, and it doesn't work, you're not coming back.
I've predicted all the outcomes of this time travel, but we've come this far, and there's no going back.
Your call. Here we go.
Here we are again in 1970.
Where do you hide it?
In plain sight.
I didn't realize that this crossing would also allow for a true understanding of all that my father has given to me.
Arnold, you in there? Arnold?
Because of my previous prejudice against my father, I instinctively wanted to run away when I saw him.
Doors this way, pal. Got a name?
Howard Potts.
Well, I'm Howard Stark.
I've combined my father's and wife's last names, a name that clearly expresses both the duty to the Stark family and the warmth of the Boss family. In conversations with my father, I've come to understand what he's going through.
Tell you that kid's not even here yet, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for him.
His words made me realize that his indifference was actually a clumsy expression of love, and that's how I completely dissolved the gap between me and my father. After getting the Rubik's Cube, we all went back to the original timeline according to the planned time. But the most unwanted thing still happened.
Clint, where's Nat?
Once the soul gem must be sacrificed to a cherished possession, one soul for one soul.
Let me go.
Please no. Please.
Natasha ended up sacrificing her soul for the soul gem.
We know shared family. You. Us.
You're not coming back. We have to make it worth it. We have to.
We will.
We utilized the power of the 6 gems to successfully strike the finger that everyone had hoped for. Looking at the renewed life outside, and the phone call from his wife who had already Hawkeye had disappeared.
Guys. I think it worked.
Before we could rejoice, a nightmare ensued. It turns out that Nebula's brain got confused with Nebula's in that timeline during Nebula's time travel, which led to the Exterminator knowing all of our plans. So he had that timeline Nebula travel back and disguise it. Open the time tunnel ready to destroy everyone in the present time, and then build a whole new universe. But this time we won't let it happen in front of our eyes.
Let's kill him properly this time.
Okay, Thor, hit me.
I didn't think that move would be at all effective against the Exterminator. And the massive impact sent me straight into a coma.
Boss, wake up!
When I woke up, I already saw that the Exterminator's army had descended on this world. But just then,
On your left.
this was the moment I finally understood Drax Strange's intention of handing over the gem in the first place, and it also reinforced my responsibility.
Avengers!
Assemble.
This is the moment when we're no longer the lone savior, but the entire Avengers Alliance. That's when I finally saw the familiar figure buried in my heart for so many years in the crowd.
Holy cow! You will not believe what's been going on. You remember when we were in space?
I couldn't tell if the man in front of me was an illusion or reality. I could only confirm his reality by hugging him. At this moment, this child has grown from needing to be protected to a comrade in arms worthy of a future. Afterwards, I found Dr. Strange and asked him to confirm whether the 1 in 14 million chance of winning that he said before was this one time.
If I tell you what happens, it won't happen. You better be right.
The Exterminator could not resist even after many rounds of fighting, and directly ignored his troops to unleash the battleship fire. Just as we were being outmaneuvered by the battleships, there was a sudden change in the direction of fire.
Roddy, what are they firing at?
Something just entered the upper atmosphere.
Just as Captain Marvel was about to travel through time to deliver the gem, the time tunnel was destroyed by the Exterminator. And once again, the glove is in the hands of the exterminator. Just then, I looked to the doctor and watched as his hand gestures made me realize that this was the only path to victory. I had to make a sacrifice at a specific point in time to cut off the exterminator's destiny.
I am inevitable.
I ended this infinite war with my mortal body. The trajectory of my life is like the reactor in my chest, bursting into immortality in an eternal cycle of self-destruction and redemption.
But again, that's the hero gig. Well, part of the journey is the end. I love you 3000.